Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about something that I consider to be one of the most absurd ideas that people have proposed for powerlifting. And, it's to solve a problem that doesn't actually exist. Meaning people are so concerned with dramatic weight cuts that people do, even though it is the standard and the norm in every single weight class sport on the face of the earth, right? It's not just powerlifting, it's every sport. It's part of competition. It is part of the skill involved with competing. And if someone says, well, I don't want to worry about skill, I just want to be strong. Well, then, don't worry about your technique on your lifts. Just come in and brute strength it up. Don't worry about the water cuts. Maybe just compete in the super heavies, right? I mean, that's an option for people. But when we're talking about weight class things, it's competitive. It is going to be competitive. And again, people want to argue that, well, it allows for cheating. Well, no, it's allowed within the rules. And it's absurd that you see stuff like strength lifting, and notice strength lifting doesn't take off. Trying to replace the things that everyone complains about in powerlifting, like the things that losers complain about. And you know how you know that? Because go look at the people who compete in strength lifting, and no offense intended, but look at the numbers that are being put up in general compared to powerlifting. You guys see the problem? Look at the numbers. Yeah. These same people who complain and want to go do a sport like that are the people who can't hack it in the popular one. They really can't. So, they've done stuff like, well, no sumo deadlifts, just conventional. We'll get rid of all this arching and cheating by using the strict press, although the strict press they do isn't strict. It's just a push press with locked knees. But then they want to pretend like people do the same things that everyone complains about and used to complain about with the press. They've just implemented it anyways. They do weigh outs instead of weigh ins. All right. Here's the issue with it. Number one, this is already the norm. It's a known skill. Learning how to make weight is a skill well understood in wrestling and MMA, everything else, right? People have decades and decades of practice on this. That's why you guys have seen me come in and do crazy water cuts, losing over 20 pounds and then regaining all of it, okay? Because it's a skill. It's just one of the skills of competing. And if you want to win, you'll do what you need to do to get to those skill levels. Yes, brute strength is the primary thing because you still have to be strong. But you've got to learn technique. You've got to learn how to perform in the environment, inside the rules. So people want to talk about this stuff, but then you go to the USPA meets and realize how strict they are with rules. How strict they are with things like lockouts, soft knees, soft elbows, depth. Okay, pausing correctly, but not breaking off the bench. Like, they're strict with stuff. So there's always a skill component. It's a skill component. But and people act like everyone's not doing the stuff with the weight classes. Well, the people who really want to win are. The other point, though, is that the people who are just so brutally strong that it doesn't matter, well, they're the rare individuals, and guess what? They're still going to win even if they don't perfect it to the same degree. Okay, so it's fine. And it's not cheating, it's just the way these systems work. So people who are complaining they want to change the rules because they think it's cheating, well, it's not cheating. And you guys want to change the rules to something that's dangerous and problematic. Number one, with weigh outs, you don't actually know if you're breaking records till the end of the meet, right? You don't even know what weight class you're in. So people are coming in, they're doing the weigh outs, and it's like, well, none of it's finalized. Like, like you get in, you break a squat record, you break a bench record. They announce it right there, record attempt, and it's a done deal because you've already weighed in. We know what weight class everyone is in, walking in. It's fair, it's already sorted. Now the judges just have to worry about passing it. So we get into a point to where until you weigh out, you don't know if you've actually won or not. You don't know if your record's counted. Come on. Come on. And then people act like people aren't going to try to cheat there. Here's the point, guys. People will still try to game the system. You think because you do a weigh out, people aren't going to try to do water cuts and dehydrate through the meat? Do you not understand that people are competitive? You have to have a way to weigh people for weight classes unless you just put everyone in the same weight class. So unless you just do that and everyone competes against everyone else, you have to have a way to weigh in. So you're either going to weigh in or you're going to weigh out. Either way, people are going to do their best to get the most scoring, the best weight class. They're going to do whatever it takes. Okay, that means in a weigh out situation, people are going to dehydrate through the meat. All right, someone might even take diuretics right before the meet, cut off all water, all carbohydrates, and fast all the way through the meet so that they sweat it out and drop water weight through the competition. So they're still going to see the same thing. People are still going to drop large amounts of water. The problem is now it's dangerous. The injury risk goes up. And that's the problem with a lot of this stuff that people want. They think that they see a make-believe problem that actually is fair. It's fair because everyone's competing under the same rules, and they want to make it more dangerous. They're like, well, we'll just get rid of arching and make everyone bench flat back. Okay, so everyone's going to tear pecs. Okay, you just made the bench press a dangerous exercise. Right, you hear people out there talking about the bench being dangerous. Yeah, if you flat back benching, that's one of the things that actually makes the exercise more dangerous. It's safer to bench with an arch. But people don't like the arching, so like, we'll just get rid of it, make you bench flat back. Or some silly crap. Yeah, so that more people get hurt, let's just make the sport more dangerous because a few people have a silly problem. The same thing with the weigh in versus weigh out. Okay, people are going to dehydrate themselves through the competition. You're going to deadlift dehydrated. And people will do it. And you know why? Because it isn't going to affect strength as much. Body weight doesn't affect strength on the deadlift as much as it does the squat and the bench. So you get early in, they could be somewhat hydrated going into the squat, then they dehydrate through the meet, they get to the deadlift. They may pull a lifetime PR still. Okay, here's the problem. They're now at a higher risk of tearing hamstrings and things. Our injury rate starts going up due to the dehydration. So you're not fixing anything. All right, people are still going to find a way to cut water, but in this case, all you've done is make it more dangerous. And then the people will try to say, well, they're choosing then to do it. No, they're being competitive. All you're doing is changing the rules in such a way that the same problem that you're bitching and complaining and crying about like a loser, because someone else is better, they've developed a better skill than you, they're winning, right? You're crying about it, so you just want to make it more dangerous for people to be competitive. Or you haven't thought about it. You haven't thought about it, and that's usually the case. People haven't thought through that the way it exists now is actually better. It's actually safer. Okay, it's actually safer, and I'm not saying it doesn't carry risks. But the whole thing of switching it is nonsense. You have to have a way to weigh people. Okay, you have to. And any method that you use, people are going to try to get an edge inside of the rules because that's what competing is about. We compete to win. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.